He currently paces the NFL in receptions. It's the Vikings and the Lions, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 24.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from Ford Field. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the number 1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Going back to Gibbs on first down. We'll get this up to about the 44. The Lions at 11-5 on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon.
I think what we're seeing from him means the future has arrived, because I think most teams are looking for that hybrid running back. The guy who can run it, of course, but who can catch it as well. And those catching skills, exactly why they chose him early in the draft.
And it's one thing to have a catch for 5-10 yards. It's another to be able to break off a long play like that.
Yeah, we saw it in college, his ability to spread out and catch the football. He's brought it to the NFL as well.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. To return it, Darius Phillips. And he returns this to the 22. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week results.
A quick throw there is incomplete. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep. On second down, Cousins again. He'll check this one off to Fournette. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown lead.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time, either equal or try to get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
So on fourth down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, as we know, they have already clinched the NFC North, a wild card game waiting for them to open the postseason, and they have earned the right to host it, Charles, in front of the home. There he goes, right side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 48 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. The safeties were well back there, and he had a lot of room. Were they in the cover too?
Yeah, they were, and the safeties were back. Usually they're 12 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, somewhere around the hash mark for each of them. But what also happens if the linebackers dive into the line, if you block them initially, that blocker can come off of them and get up to the safeties on the second level, and now you've got a big place to run the football.
Taken down at the 30. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So in prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass? Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
They'll run with Gibbs. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Gibbs. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. From the gun, it's Hooker. And it's caught. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. David Montgomery with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. An early decision point here, Charles, maybe one we'll look back on later. They go on 4th and goal, and they punch it in for the touchdown.
We always talk about how football is a game of confidence, and that's how you get it right there. Leave your offense out there and tell them I believe in you. And they pay it off with 6 points.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
First down run there for Fournette, but it won't accomplish much as he'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Cousins now. And the Lions pressure to
the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
Already up 2 touchdowns. How about that drive killer of a sack there to add to their good play? This offense coming with no points now, and some kind of score was desperately needed.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They'll go again with Gibbs. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd down, Hooker looks to throw it. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's got his target. That's complete. Still going inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are back within a score. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Detroit back in possession of the football. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And able to get this one across the 35 before he's brought down. 68 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Looking to throw, Hooker. Setting up the screen, this is Gibbs.
His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Hooker. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Now Hooker.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Montgomery diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And it's now 21-7.
On the return, Phillips. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Here's 2nd and 10.
To throw, Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Aiden Hutchinson.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw.
And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
It's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive and keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions offense getting set once again.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Here's 2nd and 3. And he's going to use his legs here. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Gibbs.
22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Throwing. Hooker.
Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack. The offense on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. And in for the Lions, touchdown.
Jameson Williams.
28 yards.
And the Lions take a 3-touchdown lead.
So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Cousins throw taken in by Hockenson here.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
Up the gut, Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
To throw is Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Jameson Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Working out of the shotgun, Hooker. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
99 yards rushing for it as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because He is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
On second down, here's Gibbs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And that's caught at the 25. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big his receiving core to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
First down throw here. It's Hooker. Over the middle, complete. That's right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. David Montgomery on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to add on to their first-half lead. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now out comes Minnesota. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Cousins. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Jahmyr Gibbs and the rest of the offense headed back out. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Now an injured player here, so a stoppage, and that's Jameson Williams who's shaken up. Well, Week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Cousins.
That's complete to K.J. Osborne.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jack Campbell with a pick.
And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Hooker on first down.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This is a 26-yard attempt.
Patterson's kick is good. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll begin with the oldest rivalry in the NFL, dating all the way back to 1921. Green Bay hosting Chicago, and it's the Bears who have the lead. The former Buckeye Justin Fields with a touchdown pass. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium, and they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Adam Thielen, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's head to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to see what's happening with the Bengals. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Deshaun Watson. We got an excellent first half from the man from Tennessee. That's Hendon Hooker. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
Phillips now from the end zone.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 24-yard line.
Fournette running right. They juked him. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
And the Vikings 1st down.
Cousins to throw it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They've got the ball in a great spot here, already inside the red zone following that fumble recovery. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. Gibbs. It's going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Hooker. Flush to his right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Hendon Hooker, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Lions use the short field to get in for 6.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like going in.
this one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
This is fielded at the 27. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions offense getting set once again. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the #1, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. Counter play, here's Gibbs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Hooker. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, but that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. His 2nd catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down. Now Cousins. Slant route, and he's got Addison. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
On 3rd down, Cousins.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this is a situation where as a head coach, you're just saying, What else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On second down, Hooker setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
On the give, here's Gibbs. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. From the 24 now, here's the second down and 6. Another run for Gibbs here. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Hooker to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick it, taking it right down Broadway. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Joseph connects on the extra point. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This taken in right around the goal line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They go play action. Here's Hooker. Got a man. That's Antoine Green. A big play there for Detroit. 42 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a give to Gibbs, running left to the 36-yard line. Stop there. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding the clock.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Meanwhile, Hooker's throw complete there to St. Brown. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw him through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Once more, Montgomery trying to find a lane, but he finds nothing but defenders. Stop for no gain at the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Running for it, Montgomery. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Derek Barnes in on the stop. 2nd down. Throwing is Cousins. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down. Here's Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Jack Campbell with a pick, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
To throw, Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Trying the left side with Gibbs. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Here's 3rd and 3. Hooker now off play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. We've seen that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like
taken just outside the 20-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Now they'll run it with Gibbs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 22 now, here's the 2nd and 8. And Gibbs has it. A solid stiff arm. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Now a bootleg with Hooker. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Brock Wright from 8 yards out. And the Lions stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
Phillips now from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jack Campbell with a pick. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Hooker to throw on 1st and 10. And he's got it. Touchdown. Sam Laporta, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Lions continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Vikings head out to take over once again. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Take it at the 37. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. And this has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
3rd down, Hooker looks to throw it. Escaping the... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brian Asamoah working his way in to pick up the sack. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Gibbs. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final. All play action. Here's Hooker. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Fourth down to give to Gibbs. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.